Hello, gentle, loving friends. Welcome to Transformation Matters. This is your host, Laura Staley, founder of Cherish Your World and author of Abundant Heart. Today, I am going to read another poem, Angels Lift All of You, and speak more about this topic of loss and love and learnings. Angels lift all of you. You no longer lash out at me with your viper tongue, the spittle of jealous resentments, escape late at night in the early spring. Your wounds, my inner critic, my wounds, your inner bully. Angels lift all of you, an offering from a mushroom cloud of fury. In the quiet of candles burning on an altar, created as transition vigil. Love songs now croon, swoon, holding soft petals with tiny dew droplets, like fresh seeds of nourishment. Wafts of lavender relax, gripping toes that held a lifetime of terror, touching fur on a dog's floppy ears. Heaven sighs. Wide open in the midst of blooming crepe myrtle, bright yellow-petaled black-eyed Susan peeks at green pea pods. Honking geese splash, landing in a lake. A purified heart beats with new life. This poem was inspired by the death of my mother. My mother and I had a very difficult relationship, and I continue to glean all the lessons that her ways of interacting with me brought to my life, because indeed, as difficult and as terrifying as it was to be with my mother, I learned a great deal about love and about being human, about resolving trauma, and quite frankly, the relief in her passing. And I know that is not something that's widely spoken of. Most people don't speak openly of the possible relief they feel when a loved one has passed, who's embodied a lot of tortured ways of being in the world. And I am completely aware of the fact that my mother was beloved by many, many people, including the children that she taught in her classrooms. And yet, for whatever reason, and in some ways that may remain a mystery to all the younger selves inside of me as to why she felt so threatened by my presence and just sometimes showing up in the room, and why she lashed out so consistently and chronically when I showed up. So in that space of a difficult person in your life transitioning, and you may have been blessed to make peace with that individual and they with you before they passed, which, wow, I completely honor that. And yet for those of us who removed ourselves to heal and transform the quality of our lives and send compassion to those individuals from a distance, whether it was a parent or another individual or a former spouse, an ex-spouse, how important to glean those lessons and also allow for all the varied emotions that can come when somebody who has challenged you so deeply passes. I don't believe there are correct feelings in the space of grief and loss, especially in the case of a challenging, multifaceted relationship, probably one that came to teach you so much about being alive and being human. No one lives in your shoes. Only you can tap in and feel all the feelings that could include relief, deep sadness, a recognition that there won't be a chance for reconciliation, that there's still an opportunity to do the deep forgiveness of yourself and the other individual for the ways that they indeed may have harmed you as a child or even as an adult or a teenager. So often in our culture, there seems to be rules and regs around how we're supposed to think and feel and experience our lives. And I'm here to offer you a permission slip to feel all kinds of feelings in the wake of a loss of a difficult person in your life, to even feel the gratitude for all that they taught you and the richness that your life now is in the space of your hopefully better choices that you've made in interacting with other people. Grief teaches us to be an alchemist for love, to learn to deepen that well of love, to go underneath the anger and resentments to the hurt, the grief, and then, of course, that deep well of love. Thank you so much for listening today. Next time, I will be speaking of Belong to the Creek, a lovely poem about the natural world that I think you will enjoy very much. You've been listening to Transformation Matters. This is Laura Staley, founder of Cherish Your World and author of Abundant Heart, Thoughts on Healing, Loving, and Living Free. Until next time,